Wait, before you start that budget, I got something that me and my husband did that was really helpful for us, and I want to share it with you guys. So stay tuned. Today, if you're someone who's thinking about budgeting, something that my husband and I did prior to budgeting. Taylor Budgets just put out a great video telling you the 3 things to help you prepare before you start budgeting, but this is a little different. So the thing that we did that was very helpful before we started budgeting is we went ahead and saved we started with $1,000 emergency fund. You see a lot of budgeters that are saving, while they're budgeting, but it was more beneficial to us to go ahead and save the $1,000 prior to budgeting. And I'm gonna tell you why. And that's the same reason why Dave Ramsey suggests you save a minimum of $1,000 before you start the debt snowball program where you're paying off your debt. And the reason for that is so you can keep your momentum and you don't get discouraged. For example, if I start my budgeting, this is just my experience and my opinion. Everybody can do it the way they want to. I'm not criticizing anyone for the way they do it, but I'm just putting the information out there. So say for instance, you start budgeting today and you don't have any money in the bank. I mean, you budgeting your paycheck. So you're budgeting out your paycheck and you're budgeting in order to build up a savings and build up an emergency fund. So say you're budgeting and you could say you had a blowout and 2 of your tires are irreplaceable and you have to replace 2 tires, and both tires are going to cost like $320. So if you're already budgeting and you don't have this money saved, guess where you're going to get the money from? You're going to get it out your sinking funds. So that's the purpose of the $1,000. So there's a lot of talk about $1,000 is not enough. No, it's not enough. That is just a starting point. Dave Ramsey just suggests $1,000 to get you started. So Miss V is suggesting $1,000 also, but if you're not able to do $1,000, at least try to do $500. And so a fun way for you to do that is do some of the saving challenges. There are all kind of saving challenges out here. Plan Your One Life with Britt. She has a $500 savings challenge. Hands and Bands has a scratch off where you have the mystery numbers up under each little scratch off, and you can do the $1,000 saving challenge. And that's one way that you can come up with the money. If you're saying, Miss V, I don't have $1,000. I know I didn't have $1,000 either. So I'm gonna tell you the things we did to get the $1,000. So the first thing I did, I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure I give you the right information, is the first thing we did, I went and got a part-time job and my husband was doing DoorDash. So some type of side income or part-time job if you can. That's one way you can get your $1,000 if you can. But if you can't do that, everyone has unwanted items in their house. I'm looking at some things now that I'm going to be donating and selling. You can sell unwanted items on sites like Mercari. I sell my unwanted items on Mercari, and it is a place where you can sell your secondhand items, and it's very safe. I've used it for years. If you want to try Mercari, I have a link in the description box. Check it out. Try Mercari, and it's great. Of course, you can do Facebook or OfferUp or Let Go. Any of those items, any of those sites sell unwanted items. There's another way to help you get some of your $1,000. And the third thing that we did that I'm suggesting you do too is go through your expenses and see what you can cut. When we did it, I went through all of our expenses. We had DirecTV cable. We were paying like, I don't know, $89, $90 a month for DirecTV. DirecTV. We cut that off. So that saved us $80 to $90 a month. And I just got a Fire Stick. I just paid a one-time fee of $30 or $40 and had a Fire Stick, and we were able to watch TV. And another thing that I did is I went through and looked at like life insurance policy. I have a lot of life insurance policy on, you know, like my 2 daughters and all my grandchildren, all that. And I went through and cut everything down to the basics. I just cut it down to where I had just enough money to bury everybody if they died. Because I had a lot of insurance on. I was paying like $400 a month. So I cut that in half. I cut that down to $200. So that was $200 right there. But once I got out of debt and, you know, got used to the budgeting, I went back and, you know, added more coverage later. So that's something you can do, cut your expenses. So the first thing, let's go over. First thing you can do, what did I say? Do one of the savings challenge. You know, this will be a fun way to get your money. Number 2, side income or a part-time job. Number 3, cut your expenses. Yeah. So those are the ways. Those are some simple ways for you to get your money. If you don't want to start out with $500, they have $250 savings challenge. And the savings challenge is just a fun way for you to save money. You're really not, most of the time, you're really not going to think about it because it's, you know, it's not your traditional way to save money. So before you know it, you'll have $500, and next thing you know, you have $700, then you have $1,000. So us having that $1,000, it really helps because it does take about 90 days for you to get used to being on a budget. Dave Ramsey was right when he said that. I started feeling a lot better, less stressed after about 90 days. But the first 3 days, I will be honest with you, it will be an adjustment, and it is going to be hard, challenging, uncomfortable. All of those words. I'm keeping it real over here. But I had those same words when I was in debt. Challenging, uncomfortable. So you just choose which uncomfortable feeling you want to have. You want the uncomfortable feeling of being in debt, or you want the uncomfortable feeling of being on a budget. I choose being on a budget. So yeah, yeah, I just wanted to come by and share this information with you because it really was helpful to me. So this video is really focused on people who hadn't started their budgeting journey, because I know a lot of you guys are already saving for your emergency fund while you're budgeting, but this is for someone who may be thinking about budgeting. Just consider it. Take time out and just try to carve out some money to go ahead and have your emergency fund already started. So once, say you have the $1,000, then you want to start budgeting. Don't stop at $1,000. Then you get your envelope, whichever one you say, and just add to the 1,000, because the 1,000 is just going to help you keep your momentum. Because you will get discouraged. I promise you. I got discouraged a couple times. I still get kind of discouraged now, but I know my why. My why keeps me focused. So yeah, know your why. Like Daisy Budget said, if your why doesn't bring you to tears, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to do it. Yeah, my why brought me to tears. Not that we make a whole lot of money, because I guess you would say we in the lower middle class, but we made enough money where I shouldn't have been going to my savings account to get my car payment. That was the the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, that's it. I called my husband, I was in tears. I said, it's just ridiculous. And the reason why I had to go to my savings to get the car payment is because I was swiping that debit card and just spent all our money. Of course, I had to have the car payment. I had it 3 or 4 times, but swiping the debit card, just swipe, swipe, swipe. That's why I love this cash envelope system. So I'm gonna quit rambling, because I talked about that in my debt story. I'll link that somewhere. So I'm gonna link all these ladies where you can get some of these challenges if you want to do that. If you don't want to get a whole challenge book, most of them just sell just a tracker for $1 or $2. Get started with that and just go ahead and get your emergency fund. Then focus on those things that Taylor Budget talks about, and some of the other lady talks about things you should do before you start budgeting. This is in addition to what they're talking about. So yeah, I just thought it was helpful. I didn't realize it was helpful till I actually, you know, start getting the rhythm of the budget, and I was like, oh, okay, so we had to replace a tire. So you just go to your emergency fund and get that. I didn't have to get out the sinking fund, and now I just realized about 8 months later that was very helpful. So I thought I would share that with you guys. Yes. So since I'm sharing, in order to help one of you guys get started with your emergency fund, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and send you $100. Yes, $100 to someone to help them start their emergency fund. And you be like, Ms. V, now how am I get that $100? I'm glad you asked. All you have to do is tell me in the comment section, are you focused on paying down debt, building savings, or investing? And the ways that I'm going to send it is Cash App or either Venmo. And if you don't use one of those, I have a link for both of those in my description box. Those are the only ways I'm going to send it. Those two ways, Venmo or Cash App. So yeah, so that is it. So I hope this is helpful. Go ahead and get your $1,000 emergency fund started. That's your minimum that you need. Minimum. So yeah, we just want to get you started. So I'm gonna get you started with $100. So all you have to do is come up with $900 more. So yeah, so that's it. That's gonna conclude this video. This is Miss V. I'm gonna continue to show you love. Let me see if I can do a heart. And I'm gonna always help you save on some of the things you need so you can get some of them things you want. Yes. Thank you and have a nice day. Happy. We went ahead and what did we do? Oh Lord.